Huh? Wait, look over there! It's one of Linny's cards! Let Paimon see what's... Maybe you haven't heard, but today is the monthly free day. Everyone... It's been a while since we last talked. Have you been making any progress lately? Let's meet at our usual... Ooh, today's our lucky day. We have the day off. From the sound of it, Lenny's been making progress with his investigation. What? We still have some time before we meet up. Let's talk with... There's a group of people over there. Let's go listen in.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey.
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking...
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine. You're lucky we don't mind extroverts that much.
You hear that, Quisto? What nice!
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right?
Really? Are we that famous?
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime, unlike some of the others here.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry. We're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we...
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
No. You don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, knowing who's working with whom. Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know? You should prove you're worthy of it.
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working...
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing.
You are correct. I am a true professional. Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworld... You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care...
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all.
But did you know that Jurier was a talented researcher from the fund?
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the Fortress of Merit... Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by in the corridor with Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing in the library and got into a fight.
You mean he hit a woman? Wow, I never imagined.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she...
Wait a second.
Do you think... Could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on date?
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Jurier to a pulp that one time.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us.
I don't buy.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
What kind of filthy bilgewater you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your soup. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld?
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you?
Whoa. Sounds like they're really Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were That's true.
Hey, you over there? Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, all right.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from Sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe...
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then.
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors? Ben, did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner? Yeah, so you've already met those two. They're quite a pair. They always keep an eye out for the latest happenings. I heard that they used to be a chef and a bartender before they were sent down here. You know how bartenders are, always chatting with customers. And
Good to know.
let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something a little more tantalizing. Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
Huh? Wait,
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda respect that. A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that.
it's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it.
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
Crumble! eyes!
Huh? That look in your eyes. You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you have my Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he... Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills.
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only...
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it. It's the least I can do. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to
Collecting information is...
Now, let me think. To find out, and if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's...
You can even estimate how long it'll take...
We've been working together for a long time. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able... Oh, and there's just one last... Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremonet's report on Master Child. Fremonet's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other...
What do you want us to do? Will it be...
Well, I won't call it easy per se. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the... Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any act... But also, there's no need to take risks. My apologies,
But that's not a bad thing, right? All right, then we'll head out as soon as...
Let's go our separate ways for now, then. Don't...
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people inside.
Right. I feel like we...
It's not impossible.
So... it's a bit hard to understand them from here. Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Let me take a look. Please, lie down over here. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly. You can do it, Traveler! Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger. That's our... Oh, that's good. I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. And based on my initial checkup... what about here? I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious.
So that's what it is. Thank goodness.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Miss Levine, I'll have to try...
Very well.
And she hopped away just like that.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
His stomach ache's really bad. He was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's...
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well...
What do you mean that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't, though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about...
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
That's correct.
Are you two also sick?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for... You could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurrier. Don't forget that you are the primary
Hey, don't start arguing now! Please, keep it civil! Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to...
But...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we...
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just... I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and...
You really can't...
I mean, can you blame me? Look, who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? I'll accompany you two for a while. Missy, no.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Missy.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here. Miss Levine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you...
I remember...
Yellow, huh? I understand.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon.
See ya!
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as...
Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the traveler rest? Paimon...
So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain. All right then.
Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds?
No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please,
Got it! Paimon will hold the trap... Oh, you're going to take a nap already? together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's... So you're the best of companions. Ah, you're awake. How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left. Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember... Thank you, Miss Sijween! Are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death! No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, don't take my grilled fish, and put down the Adeptus Paimon talked with Sijween the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Whoa! You really are super thorough! All those tiny little suspicious things... Today's the day! Let's go meet up with Vinny!
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where...
Hmm? Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicion. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago. And as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary.
Wait, why is she getting
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you didn't infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well...
Is now really a good time to go?
According to my observations, Sijween always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette... Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's...
Okay, then let's head over right...
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange.
As expected, Sijwin isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her.
Okay.
There are some books here and a few files. Advanced nursing? How to... These sure are some interesting books. She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Seems quite normal to me. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that...
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending...
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest, which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse in...
This is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably... Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over...
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my..."
This is...
Is that all? The back. This...
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also...
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic. Just think everything over. I have to stay calm. Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriothesley have...
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought if Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably...
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I'll go...
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please, talk some...
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I I feel like we still have some room to make...
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive...
Is that so? Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we start. Someone! Please help!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, what a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? Being able to read human expressions is quite. Wait! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him. He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office.
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the trap. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we—
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those—
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine is also—
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you—
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is although as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken—
Wait, you can't mean you locked him outside in the—
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should—
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to— Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was an—
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in—
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the Bronx. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much—
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is if— Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse—
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it,
I shouldn't ask Father to do—
6.
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Lenny, can you at least talk—
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two? I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being—
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But the Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. We often see Miss Sigewin observing the prisoners at— Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As a result, according to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke— We often see Miss Sigewin observing the prisoner. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. The research notes said that, according to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because— We often see Miss Sigewin. Fonta's internal report suggests— The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real— We often see Miss Sigewin. I've been told that the infirmary— We often see Miss Sigewin observing— Fonta's internal report— The research notes said that the I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because I've been told that the infirmary—
So that's what's going on. The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if at first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sigewin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Sigewin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she... Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world... The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sigewin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company sponsored it. The research notes said that the Melusine race... The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes... The research notes said that the... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the... Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial. We often see Miss Sigewin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he does... We often see Miss Sigewin observe... Fanta's internal report I've been told that the infirmary is... According to Collins, the... According to Collins, the Fanta promoter has been...
Paimon gets this rule too now! So that hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on... People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff, the company facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their... The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value, and so only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb...
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to... Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought is, you'll pay for this! Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewin.
There was nothing, Your Grace. Sigewin? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional.
Sigewin... You...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus when Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here.
But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace.
What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want. Let them...
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande.
Renee...
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take—
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What?
Please, make some space. I'll need to—
I'll talk to Clarande while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move— sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I—
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a— How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial— I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time—
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who—
Want some tea?
Not particularly.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea.
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel?
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure? You don't look all right.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the—
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh. Remine?
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth and...
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
We're all here.
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling...
Traveler. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Where could Master Child be? Frost is coming!
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. This is where the water starts. Master Child probably dived. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's... No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. This... I have to push on. So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no...
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some
Miss Clarand brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the
Miss Clarand, you say?
You're still too weak for Monet. You can...
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarand will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to...
A guest? Then I...
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Linny?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just...
Linny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself...
Understood.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stayed...
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss...
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarand.
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical...
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. But where should I begin? How about you start by asking me an...
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lynn...
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you...
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know it...
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do you...
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you all. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison?
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited...
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Clarand could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an
And saving Fremonet was part of that crime?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you—
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you—
Yeah, Paimon—
even if the truth may not be pleasant? Follow me.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede— Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friend?
Well, I'm a...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply— The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading— Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more like— Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that and the symptoms that Fremenade—
The concentration of... primordial...
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed— Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordials... Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater— If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of...
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were the criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon. And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls, after many, many centuries. Few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If to be frank, not really. But sadly, the prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in— Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last—
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lord...
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about—
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul—
I'm skeptical as well. Are you
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them.
You want to blow?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in—
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure?
Your Grace!
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before.
How much do you know about Fontanian history?
Not...
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick— According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who he called his nation Lemuria, and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate,
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh,
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
yeah. We'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great.
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of...
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that while I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves...
Must have been Risley and Sijween.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn any...
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijween is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, if I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but...
You're super smart!
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be.
The sea will engulf everyone.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis.
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. The two of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going forward, please, though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being...
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijween? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Clorin. Huh. You're right. She's actually... What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too! Don't forget No problem. Just... So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to... Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious. I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression of... Sijween, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human... A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take... You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so... Really? You're reminded of an older sister. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said... Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't. You were all super considerate and really thought... It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least... Oh... I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often, too. I feel like... Get a good night's rest, you two. You both... much has happened. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy? Delicious.
Out of my way! Get out of my... What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Uh-huh. Who's yelling? What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even.
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it so—
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, up?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without him!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Huh.
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Nervalet, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have...
Look, there are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people over
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instruction. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests, Miss Farina.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must...
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of you.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside...
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked...
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run it. Coming from you, that's...
but I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far...
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry.
Oh, and just how...
Because we...
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago, since he was unfortunately unavailable. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as...
Hold on. The water in the tea...
I suppose this is also a sign of the...
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure. Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the...
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of...
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal...
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't...
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui.
I must say, we've spent long enough, Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the—
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me, yet. Here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all— The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert— But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save—
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even Fontaine will be saved. Even if I...
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where...
My machinations are just like...
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be
an
Oh, that look in your eye.
The emergency response plan...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, and what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnity?
The oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the opera house. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep...
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on... Oh, Paimon's super full.
If it's on my tea table, it must be...
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with...
That's what Paimon thought!
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express... That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can.
You mean Writhsley. He's a tricky one to deal with. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, you are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for... Forget it. He did give us an... I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparation?
No need. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the...
Oh, come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me?
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But it's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydra. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god.
Who are you?
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, there's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is.
Yes, Father.
My dear children.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we
Probably the handiwork of that.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon. Oh, and I have an additional mission.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but the initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked.
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how Of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working... Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do... You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must...
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that... Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to... Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon. You can't tell us? Then that's okay.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on him. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining?
You may be closer to the truth.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so...
Neuvillette,
My apology.
we were just guessing randomly. randomly, we didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this.
Right, of course. There's still something Paimon wants to ask.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, they say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragons.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way.
Oh, so even you can't.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Now guess, what suit will...
Well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an...
Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to...
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life...
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might all...
Father is very capable, and also
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
That does sound...
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with...
Traveler, Paimon, you're back. Are you still doing all right? We're fine, but what about you guys? It was a few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Of course, we must also think...
How did Nervalet know that he was needed here?
Well, Miss sure Nervalet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rise, I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. If you're not too pressed for time, just let me know if you get a craving for any particular... I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time...
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back.
Huh? No.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers.
We're sorry.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super...
Something like that. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quist. Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how...
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make...
Courier?
Yeah, I was working.
That's no excuse for...
Courier! Lurvine! We're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How...
And you? Are you still taking the secret passage?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer...
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh, yeah? Then why are you also here so...
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for...
Not at all!
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back?
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still all right?
We're fine, for the most part. Nervalet came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Nervalet got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even...
Well, it's Nervalet's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope. They're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Sure feels that way. But the truth is, we never did anything bad to begin with, so I'm not sure why we put some... Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! All right. It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty? You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. We should be safe now, right? All right then. Good night to you, traveler.